Whenever you're ready.
Oh my God.
Jessica! I've never been called a fox!
Dana.
That's a classy name for a Harry.
I like it classic.
Okay.
Do you?
Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast.
Sure.
Out with the bad and in with the good, motherfuckers.
That's right.
Jessica!
Dana!
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. This is the Rants and Raves podcast. I am Dana Powell.
I'm Jessica Young.
And we
are here to rant and rave.
Woo! Oh, it's so bouncy. Ooh, it's so bouncy.
Oh, I
Jessica,
love it.
I feel like I haven't seen you in eons.
I know. It really...
Is that true?
Well, I mean, it's been a little bit of time, but even if I have gone 1 week without seeing you at our regular time, it feels like a long time.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I know. You're my free therapist.
Ditto.
I never even asked you if you were okay with that.
You don't have to, because then I just turn around and lay my stuff on you.
But I'm serious. Like, it really feels like I haven't seen you in forever, even though we were always communicating.
I know. Well, how was your week?
It was awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It was.
Did you want to say why?
It was awesome, and I'll just leave it at that. No, I'll tell you really quick. I had a lovely day last Sunday. As you guys may or may not know, my husband and I have very different schedules due to work, and that can be hard and kind of sad. I'm not having a pity party about it, but we don't have the same days off.
Yeah, you're two passing ships in the night.
It kind of sucks. I'm not going to lie. You know, he'll walk in sometimes late and I'm getting ready to go to bed, or vice versa. And we maybe are lucky to have dinner together, and then one of us has to go to bed. And so it's hard. So he had someone switch, and he happened to have Sunday off, and so did I. And we went and had a little downtown adventure in Los Angeles.
Fun.
Yeah. And we went on something that I think you would very much enjoy. I think your husband would enjoy too. Most LA people would if you...
We'll see. If it involves any kind of food I don't like, then you're wrong. But
yeah, I don't know how you would have felt about our food choices that day.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have liked it.
Oh my God. But have you heard about this place called Lost Spirits Distillery?
No, I mean, yes, I've heard of it, but I haven't been there. I saw an article about it.
It's really cool. So really quick, they had a very bad fire in January at their warehouse where part of the distilling process happens, or the actual distilling does happen, I guess. There was a fire and it took out a lot of their product and equipment and all this stuff, and they had this magical tour, so they had to rebuild it. But what is so cool about it is it's a group of artists. They're all like super creative, crafty, artistic people. They also have backgrounds in like science and they came from Northern California and worked with some chemists from Silicon Valley, and they've patented a process to be able to age booze, which what would normally take like 20 years, in a matter of weeks, I believe they said, from this light process they have, which turns it from clear to the darker color that we're all used to seeing with, say, whiskeys or rum, whatever. Anyways, I'm not going to bore you with the details. Look up Lost Spirits Distillery. They also make something called navel rum. So they take like vintage bottles of liquor that the owner has been able to acquire, or one of the owners, and then they break it down to figure out how it was made with the ingredients and all that. So it's actually fascinating the lengths that they've gone to. They've even traveled like halfway across the country to get a certain type of tree that was dead that you couldn't legally just cut down. But because it was dead, they can now take that tree back to LA to break it down to find the compounds. It's crazy.
Well, I definitely know it was listed on one of those like the coolest things to do in LA. That's how I heard about it.
It really
they give tours.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they say, don't miss this tour. It's really cool.
And I don't like whiskey or, I mean, I just don't typically, that's not my jam. But even I imbibed, I mean, they pour you a small bit. It's very high proof. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to just try to see if I can appreciate this at all. Oh.
I can't handle you. Even I imbibed.
I will tell you one thing that truly both Alan and I said, you know what, it was worth it just for this. When you go to the first part of the tour, there's like an area in downtown in the arts district where they have this building where they start the tour. They then get you on a bus and it looks like a city bus. Well, let me tell you something. You get on the bus. It is not anything of what you pictured. They have gutted it and turned it into Fantasyland. We rode on 2 of them, one of which was turned into a Russian submarine.
Oh my God. God, that's amazing.
It's unreal. And that's how you are transported from the first part of the tour to the other part of the tour to their distilling warehouse, the new one offsite. Just go. It's really like Willy Wonka for adults with
so
booze.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
it was really, really fun. And then we went and had vegan food, which Dana would not have enjoyed.
No, thank you. But my dad is going to have to get used to it. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yes.
I got so excited to hear about what your week was. I didn't even tell people how to contact us.
How was your week?
Should I do that before contact?
Yes.
My week was great too. So I went back to St. Louis. Dan Tipton was being honored as distinguished alumni at his high school. So I actually met a lot of people from his high school days that I had never met before. And he got to catch up. It was very nostalgic. And his parents were just so proud. And his sister and I got to spend time with my nieces. It was really lovely. He was in a parade.
I loved the parade.
It was so cool.
And I loved your excitement for all of it.
Everything he did at the end, I would always go, "Who's that handsome man?" Which made him so mad. He hates it.
Is blushing.
He can't stand it. I didn't care. Most of the time, I don't care about anything. So who cares? And then I went back down to Springfield and spent some time with my family. And, that's always an adventure. There's some things. I guess I say that because I think we talked on the show. The last time I went home was because we almost lost my dad. He went into anaphylactic shock. Well, we found out why. Because remember, you had said, well, what was he allergic to? We didn't know. Well, we found out. And Jessica, he was bit by the tick that made him allergic to red meat.
So crazy.
Isn't
Please
that
tell people
insane?
what that is, because I didn't even know that was a thing until you told me.
I believe it's called the Lone Star tick.
Yes.
It's really becoming a massive problem. You get bit by it and somehow there's all kinds of specific information. Please Google it because I am not a doctor. No. But basically it makes you allergic to all red meat, beef, pork. He can only eat chicken and fish and then other types of protein, but no red meat, no squirrel, doggone it. Oh boy. I was like, I don't think that's going to be a huge issue for a ton of people, but whatever. So
I bet you'd be surprised.
Well, that's true. Because, my dad did used to eat squirrel when he was a kid, but that was out of necessity. not really choice. Yeah. So anyway, this for my father, that would be like telling you and I, you can't drink water anymore.
Right.
Like he has meat 3 times a day, every day.
Yeah.
He loves steak and red meat. And so I said, well, maybe this is a blessing in disguise. But anyway, there is a possibility that the tolerance could build up over a year, but he's taking a big chance. And the thing is too, the doctor said, listen, you can eat meat. Obviously, he said, I think you've had it for about 3 years and you just haven't noticed when it makes you feel bad. But this time it was a big deal. And he said, and you could eat meat again and it not happen again, or you could eat it and it's going to be worse. And this time almost killed you. So I'm just hoping that my dad isn't like, man, I can beat anything,
Right.
But it's a massive lifestyle change for sure. And then also when I was home, I was able to go to Branson and see my friend. He's an illusionist named Reza, who has a big show in Branson. I went to his show. That was incredible.
So cool. That looked amazing.
It was so incredible. And he and his girlfriend and his staff, they're just amazing.
Does she perform with him?
Yeah, she's one of his assistants. Yeah.
That's awesome.
She's lovely. So anyway, that was a blast.
Did your dad like the show?
He loved it. He loved it. And of course, he's looking with the Powell scowl trying to figure out. And I would turn to him because I want to believe in everything.
Did they do that?
Yeah. So I never ask questions. I'm like, oh my God. I do go, how did they do it? But I don't mean it.
Right. Right.
So every 5 minutes I was turning to him going, oh my God, Dad, how do you do that? And most of the time he'd go, well, I don't know. Other times he'd go, I'll tell you in a little bit. And then I was like, I don't think you're right. Oh, God. But that's the fun, I think, of magic is like some people want to figure it out. Some people don't. And everybody has fun.
Do you know my friend was, I'm not trying to make a joke. I know there's like a guild for magicians, right?
Yeah.
My friend was part of that when she was younger and she used to perform with a traveling magician,
Yeah.
And when we went to the Magic Castle together, I asked her, I'm like, how did they do that? And she literally goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, you do. And then finally she goes, I will never tell. And I was like, Emily, we're really good friends. I'm like, tell me. She goes, no. And I actually said, I go, you know what? I have mad respect for you that you will not tell me. I'm like, even though I'm annoyed, I really respect and love that you, years later, you have nothing to do with magic, that you
still
keep up your end of the bargain and hold your oath.
Yeah, I like it. I never ask. I mean, I do without wanting an answer.
Right.
I don't ever want an answer. I love it being magic.
You went to the Magic Castle.
With Reza.
Oh, you did?
Yes, he's the one who brought me.
Stop. Did he perform there?
He wasn't
or he
performing.
Was in town
he was
and
just in town.
Oh, amazing.
He had just done a show like up in San Jose or something.
How cool.
So he came down to LA and was like, hey, we're going to the Magic Castle with some friends.
Heck
Do you want to
yeah.
come? I was like, yes, I do. It's amazing.
I love that you got to go with a
magician.
Yes.
We got to go into the magician's library, but my friend Kate and I had to sit at a table and eat peanut butter pretzels while they got to walk through. We were the non-magicians.
Oh,
but it was really cool anyway.
That's super cool.
And delicious pretzels. One more thing I want to talk about before we get into contact, because it's a little bit serious and I don't want to weigh us down, but here in Los Angeles this week, we've had some massive fires.
Yeah.
And so we're just sending out love to everyone who was affected by that. It was huge.
Huge. There was...
We definitely
100,000 people evacuated.
Yes, we definitely have friends who were evacuated and
you
found
could
places
smell
to
it
stay. Yeah.
Down in Santa Monica, like 30 miles from where the fire was. It was
I was
crazy.
coming from Santa Monica right when it started getting huge, and we came up over the hill where you overlook the entire valley from the 405 and going north, and just the whole sky was red.
Yeah,
and so. Yeah, it's insane. So we're hoping that sending love to all those that lost everything and those who only lost a little, and just sending peace to those who were affected by this tragic event. So
indeed.
I want to go ahead and tell y'all how to get in contact with us. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at the Rants and Raves podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Raves_the. You can go to our website, therantsandраvespodcast.com. There's a tab you can click to contact us directly through there, or you can just email us, flat out email us, guys, at therantsandраvespodcast@gmail.com. Some of the things you might see on some of those social media outlets this week is
how you can come to our live show on Friday.
Live show. Bing, 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 bing. Live show. Come meet us too.
Yes. You guys, if you are listening to this today, the day that it drops, if you are in your car anytime before Friday, this Friday at 6 p.m.
Friday the
18th.
Yes.
Which I'm going to tell you right now, I'm 99% sure that I said the 17th the last time. Well, I was
really?
wrong on our last episode. So a corrections corner for myself. This Friday, October 18th.
18th. Okay.
Starting at 6 p.m. sharp at the West Side Comedy Theater, which is on the backside of the 3rd Street Promenade
in Santa Monica.
We would love to see you.
Please come. Please, please, please. If you're not our friend and you want to be, come. You'll be our best friend. If you are our friend and you don't come, you're no longer our friend. No, I'm just kidding. No, I know people's lives are busy, but this really means a lot to us.
But I'll really guilt you, because if one of the people that we adore, that is a major friend of the show and a listener and an amazing supporter and the man who made Diva Curl possible for my life, and I met him from him supporting Dana in a previous project that she did.
He flew out for.
He's flying out for our show. I'm talking about Adam.
Adam, you're amazing.
We are so excited to see him. So if he can fly out from halfway across the country, if you live in the Southern California region, let alone in LA,
come on, guys.
Come take a gander.
It's only going to be an hour and it's going to be super fun, and you guys will have a chance to be a part of the show.
Yes.
So that's very exciting.
Yes.
We're going to open up our rants to people in the audience for that week. We're very excited to learn about you guys and what aggravates you. So please come. Please, please, please.
Yes.
And there are going to be amazing shows the entire weekend. I'm actually doing a show after our show.
Which is going to be great.
It should be really fun. You can stick around for that. Anyway, just come see us, guys.
Please do.
Please do. Okay. Well, are we ready?
Let's do it.
Are we ready to start this engine?
I think we are.
Vroom, vroom. Launching right into rants. Woo. Jess, you're up.
This is a general, is malaise a word?
I don't understand
general disdain, anger for people who, look, we're all annoyed by things that people do in theaters. And I mean movie theater or live theater.
Yes, we've talked about opening candy, things like that. Yeah.
But the talking, and I experienced experienced it myself this weekend. I know you have many times before too.
Yes.
I was seeing a show at the Geffen, which is an amazing playhouse that we have here in Los Angeles. And honestly, it's professional theater. Usually you can hear a pin drop in there unless people are laughing at the show, right? Or, really that's it, right? You don't hear any other noise. The play was going on. It was incredible. Everybody's totally submerged in it. And all of a sudden I hear, "Take your hand off your phone."
Oh my.
It was so angry, so aggressive, and so loud. And it was in my row.
It was a patron
to another patron.
That would have been me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it. And so nobody did anything, which I was shocked by. I leaned my head over like a dummy and turned my head glaring at him because I couldn't believe it. He said it twice.
Wow.
And the reason why it was so off-putting was it was so loud that I'm telling you, I think maybe the whole theater heard it.
It was more distracting than the person on their phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
No one had and I'm not saying you should be on your phone. That is, I hate that shit. But you did not need to say it that loud. It was like beyond, and I'm like, dude, there's no way you didn't know how loud you were.
Well,
so my friend was also at that show, but sitting in the balcony area, and I had no idea. And she told me, she goes, "Oh, you don't understand. Once it started, somebody pulled out, I don't remember if she said it was their phone or a camera, but it was something with a very bright light. And then they started filming the play, which P.S. I don't mean to be the police about it, but it's not maybe it's not illegal. It's you don't do it. Okay. Right. It's not just like it's strongly frowned upon. Most centers,
then people can sell it and then they don't sell tickets.
Yes. And it's disgusting. You're peeping someone's live performance on your phone or your camera and then going to broadcast it. So she said, she's lovely. And she goes, I felt horrible about it, but I of course was too scared to say anything. I'm like, are you like me? And sometimes you're just like passive aggressive and you just grunt hoping that they get the clue. She goes, yeah, well, I just kind of sat there, but she goes, but my friend didn't.
It was her friend?
No.
Oh.
The friend that she was at the show with very clearly told the person to... I don't know why I'm tapping the table.
I don't either, but I just shot you a dirty look.
I love it. Her friend said, turn it off, and like was very blunt and very clear about it.
Good.
But stop doing that. Like that ruins someone's experience, and how distracting to the performers and how disrespectful and rude.
Because you can't see anything because the lights are so bright.
Yes.
But you can see another bright light.
Yes.
Like that's crazy town. Now I've told you about when I yelled at somebody in the movies, right?
No.
Okay, so for those of you who are old school AWP listeners, you've heard this story, you can fast forward. I have a serious problem with getting angry at people in the movies when they offend me with talking or noise or, right? So like, I speak back, for example, or I hit back, whatever the case may call for. For example, one time Dan Tipton and I were at the movies and this little boy kept throwing popcorn on me behind him. He was in front of me and I kept going, please stop it. Don't throw that popcorn at me, son. Do not do it. He was young, right? Mm-hmm. He wouldn't stop. So finally I pulled my straw I was chewing on out of my mouth.
Oh my God.
And flipped it at him. And my saliva went across the back of his whole neck and his mother. And I said, I told you to stop throwing stuff at me. Dan Tipton was like, you biologically assaulted that child and his mother.
Oh my God.
I said, I've been saying for 20 minutes, stop throwing popcorn at me. Like I had no remorse.
Oh my God.
Well, then.
Did the mother react, by the way?
Yes, she turned around and gave me a dirty look. And I said, your son's throwing popcorn in my face. Like, I didn't care.
Yes.
I tell people to shut up all the time. So one time, it was right after my father had open heart surgery.
Oh, my God.
And I just needed to get away. Mm-hmm. So my son and Dan Tipton were asleep. Mm-hmm. It was late on a Friday night. And I thought, I'm going to go see The Witch. Because nobody wants to go see that with me. And I will enjoy it. It's an escape. I know it's Friday night, but it's been out for several weeks. It shouldn't be busy. Because I know I have to not go to very busy movies because I say things. And so I was sitting in there. And I had a long maxi dress on. Mm-hmm. And there was a man on his phone, literally speaking Spanish on his phone, having a full conversation out loud like you and I are now. Mm-hmm. But it was during the trailer. So I was like, Dana, just monitor yourself. Just stay calm. He'll stop once the movie starts, blah, blah, blah. Well, he didn't stop when the movie started. And
oh my God.
I got so upset. I put my hands up over my head in a clapping motion and said, please stop talking.
Oh my God.
I really need this tonight. That's not a joke. All my friends know this story. They're horrified by me. He didn't stop talking. So I stood up and I turned around and I go, not tonight, buddy. Not tonight. And I marched out and I went into the lobby to tell a person. I said, there's a man in theater 13. He is on his phone fully talking. The movie has started. She thinks I'm crazy. I hear her radio. Security, some woman says there's something in there. And I go, I'll tell you again. There is a man on his phone. So I'm so mad. So I march right back into the theater and I point at him. It's like raised, you know, it's raked.
Yep.
And I point at him and I go, I told you, not tonight. I told you.
Oh
and
my
I
God.
sit back down. Well, now, eventually they come in. He still won't get, he was clearly crazy, Dana. He still wouldn't get off his phone. They had to physically remove him and threaten to call the cops. It was insane, okay? So I wasn't the only crazy person in the theater that night. However, I realized that in stomping up the aisle and out into the lobby and stomping back, I had walked out of my panties.
Oh.
They were around my knees.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And I was like, what do I do?
Oh my God.
I can't stand up in this theater after I've made such a scene and pull my underwear up. So I just rolled them down and wadded them up and threw them in my purse.
Oh my God.
And that's why Dan Tipton won't go to the movies with me.
I cannot. Oh my God. What if the police ended up showing up while you were in the act of doing that?
Yeah.
And you were arrested for indecent exposure?
I had a maxi dress on.
My God.
But I did call a friend after the movie was over and I was like, hey, listen, I caused an altercation in a movie and it's now 12:30 in the morning.
And I had to take off my underwear.
It's 12:30 in the morning. I'm walking to my car alone and I don't have underwear on.
My God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my
and I'll
God.
tell you what, no one would look at me. I mean, not a single person was like, yeah, girl, tell him to shut up. Right. They were all like, that woman's insane. The movie got out. People walked out a different door than me. Like, they didn't want anywhere near me.
Again, my case in point into how, regardless of how we may look when we record, I need a camera on this because you demonstrating the clapping over your head is next level. And it's going to be burned into my mind.
I wanted him to know who I was specifically. I ain't afraid.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, you're going to know which person's mad at you. She's right here.
I can't breathe.
I love you so much for having the ball. I'm serious. I respect you having the balls to say it to people's face because I am the queen of screaming and I'm going to damn sure make sure that everyone hears it. But a lot of times it's going to be from a window and then I'm going to duck down.
Nope, not me.
Because I did something similar in a movie once, but I did not like stand up. However, I was so loud that the entire theater turned around and I think my friends were scared that we were going to get jumped.
Yes.
Do you remember Dangerous Minds?
Yeah. Didn't Coolio have a song in it?
Been spending most our lives
Living in a gangsta
paradise. And then, of course, we have Weird Al's Amish Paradise. Oh my God. Minute after minute. Hour after hour. Oh my God. So this is when I was in college. It was at the movie theater. It was the first week it was out. The theater was packed. Packed. Okay. And people were real loud before the movie started. People were real loud throughout the entire movie. It was just one of those times where it was a packed theater and people were talking throughout to the point where I legitimately at one point could not hear the dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay. We're talking, you're getting Dolby surround sound and I can't hear it. You're loud.
Yeah.
So I, at the top of my lungs, screamed, "Shut the fuck up." But I mean, at the top of my lungs, and literally the entire theater turned around and looked at me, and I just slunk down out of my seat. My friends were finching me, like dying. How are we going to get out of here?
You have awareness of that because I would have thought they were all on my side and been like, see, everyone agrees.
No, I knew nobody liked what I said.
I also will clap for other people that do it. And one time I did that. These kids were talking and this guy said, hey, shut the fuck up. Literally, he said the same thing. And I go, that's right. Thank you, sir. And I was like, He could not have been more annoyed with me. He did not want me on his side.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm going to tell you one more really quick one because it happened last week. I went and saw Hustlers. Ladies, go treat yourself.
Yeah, it's good?
It's not, but it's good mindless entertainment for 2 hours.
I can handle that.
I mean, J-Lo is not from this planet.
Right.
Her body is beyond comprehension at 50 years old.
Yeah.
She also, I was like, that's not a stunt dancer. That's her.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and by God, when I tell you that she made it look effortless, it's not just like, oh, she was sexy doing the pole dances. It's like she literally made it seem like she was a little fairy grabbing like a flower by the neck and spinning around. It's kind of crazy. She's really good in it. I'm not going to dissect the movie, but I didn't love the full story. Like, I loved the first 30 minutes, and I'm going to be really frank. I don't care if I offend. I wanted it to be like Magic Mike. If it had been the first 30 minutes of the movie, which is loud music and hot dancing, I would have been more than okay with that for 2 hours.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Oh.
So anyways, go see it. It's really fun. I also complain that I wanted more Cardi B and Lizzo because they're in it very small. I know they're in it for a small bit and I would have liked more of them. Anyways, I went during the week with my friend. We're sitting in the theater. We are the only two people in the theater. I never get to do anything like that during the week, usually because of work.
You're so busy.
It was such a delight to sit in the theater with I'm like, I want to come to the movies on a weekday all the time.
I have to go so I stay out of trouble.
It's a pleasure, okay? No one's in there. Well, by God, 10 minutes into the movie, the one person and where did they come?
Right by you.
Directly in front of us.
No.
And she was on her phone checking email and whatnot.
No. See,
and it was an older lady. Quite older.
As she started to lower her butt, I would have been like, are you kidding me? Right in front of me? You're 10 minutes late. You need to move.
We were at ArcLight. That's a large theater. She literally sat directly in front of us.
This is where my no-no-nos come out. I would have been like, no. And I would have got up and sat in front of her.
Put your bloody phones away and stop talking when you're at a movie theater or a live performance.
Literally one of these days, I'm going to snap and die. I have said, don't wear wood bracelets to the movies if you can't keep your hands still.
Oh, with the bangles clanging.
I mean, I will lose my mind.
Amazing.
I can't help it. Or I will say, I didn't pay to hear you Mystery Science 3000 this movie. Shut up.
Oh, that's great. The sad part is that probably went over most people's heads.
Probably.
The people that are doing it probably don't even get it.
I hate those people that are like, oh, dude, watch. Oh, this next part's amazing. Oh, dude. Oh my God, you're going to die. No, you are, because I'm going to murder you. I can't.
Oh my God.
I might have rage issues.
I love it. You're going to die. No, you are.
Movies are important to me. They're an escape.
I know.
I love them.
I know.
And I want to fully immerse myself in it.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God. I feel like we need a cleansing breath, but
I didn't even do mine.
No, I was going to say, but we're not going to until we finish your rant.
Well, a listener wrote in.
I always need a cleansing breath.
I know, me too. A listener wrote in complaining about when people wear too much perfume. And I completely understand this. There are some people who it seems like they bathe in their scent. And I understand wanting to have a signature scent and that people identifying you with that.
What?
Yeah, a lot of people. It's really important. In fact, a good friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, has a signature scent that is a mixture of some things. And when people say, oh my gosh, you smell so good. What is that? She goes, oh, it's my own signature scent. She doesn't tell.
Okay.
I know what the mixture is just because I've been in her bathroom. But
Pagastamon and fig leaf.
I'm sorry. Bless you. What the heck is Pagastamon?
Some crazy newfangled fragrance. I'm not making it up, by the way.
That's insane. But I also had an experience. I had an experience once. So many years ago, I went to Canada for less than 48 hours to be on the Just for Laughs televised show. Eric was hosting it. Amazing. And I was sort of an audience plant. We had a bit that we did. It was very fun. I was 6 months pregnant. Oh my God. And I happened to be seated next to a woman in the audience who had literally drowned herself in perfume. And I didn't realize it at the time, but that was the beginning of me starting to vomit constantly at any smell. And so her perfume made me ill, and I didn't know that's what it was and what was going on. But then on stage, I started to gag. I almost vomited on live television. It was a bad experience. And then when I was going through the airport, in the airport I was in, I had to get to my gate. I had to go through the, what do you call that? Where you don't pay a certain thing, the duty free.
Oh, yeah.
The duty free perfumery. I vomited twice trying to get through the store, and then I ran into Jillian Bell, my friend.
Oh my God.
She was like, "What's happening?" I'm like, "I just can't stop vomiting, but I have to go home." And she was like, "Sit by me, we'll get you a vomit." So I puked on the plane in the vomit bag. We laughed. It was like whatever. But I then realized that many smells were making me ill, and specifically a lot of perfume. And you think that that's only a woman's issue.
No.
It is not. There are so many men who do not understand a light touch. If I smell like you...
One spray is plenty.
Thank you. If I smell like you, after being in an elevator with you for 2 floors, you have done something wrong, my friend.
Do you remember the valet at I.O. when we would get our cars?
Yes.
It was like somebody bathed your car in designer imposters.
Yes. And he was outside all night, and your car smelled like that for a day.
If you liked your car noir, you'll love Black Knight. Like, I could taste it. My mother was guilty of wearing up, not because she wore too much. It just might be the most potent perfume of all time, really. Even though Tom Ford's Black Orchid makes me gag just thinking about it, is kind of the new answer to this. My mother wore Yves Saint Laurent Opium.
Yes.
Do you remember Opium?
Absolutely, I do.
In the fancy bottle with a tassel, like that was expensive. If you got a bottle of Opium,
I only saw it at department stores. Yeah.
I'm telling you, you could taste that perfume. No. It was overwhelming. And I remember when my mom stopped wearing it, I was like, oh, thank God.
You never said anything to her?
I mean, I did, and she liked it. So she was like, too bad. Yeah. And then I was like, I remember you used to drown yourself in opium. She kind of laughed. She goes, I know. She goes, don't worry, I have this new one. Oh, no. And by God, it was Tom Ford Black. It's just so overwhelming. Yeah. And I honestly don't like a perfume. I would rather have eau de toilette.
Is that what it's called?
Well, it's like mixed with, I mean, I guess perfume has alcohol too, but eau de toilette
it's a lot lighter.
Weaker than perfume.
Yes. Or even a lotion of that scent.
Yeah.
I'll do a lotion after I get out of the shower because it kind of fades into your skin. It's a lot less harsh on the nostrils. Because some people, it's so strong, your eyes water and your nose burns.
100%. And excuse me, how about, I don't remember where I was recently where I was like, are you kidding me? A woman was standing behind me and bless her heart, clearly from the South or the Midwest, and I can say that because we're both from there. The teased hair, the jean jacket, so much makeup, it hurt. Yeah. And I also could taste her perfume. We were outside in line for something, and I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, how much bloody perfume did you put on that everyone can smell it outdoors? Yes. No enclosure.
It trails behind you. Yeah. That's too much. It's too much. Why do you think people do that? I understand loving the scent, but don't you know it's strong? One squirt.
I think they're scared it's going to fade.
Maybe that's
then
what it is. Then reapply. Get a rollerball, please.
Right?
Yeah. Or, and here's a tip. If we're hurting your feelings right now, let me give you a tip. You can take petroleum jelly, like Vaseline, or melt a chapstick or something like that, and put a few squirts of your perfume in it, and it's a solid perfume like we used to get when we were kids. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
They were in a little tin, and it was a solid perfume. And then you dot it behind your ears, maybe in your elbows.
Is this a 5-minute craft by Dana Powell?
I guess so. I guess so.
I love it.
But then that way you can refresh and you don't have to bathe in it.
Yes.
Jessica, your face right now.
Because I'm just thinking it's just giving them another excuse to apply too much fragrance.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, that's very interesting. So wait a minute. Now you have my wheels turning.
I knew something was happening.
The Vaseline in like those tiny little container, the little adorable, cute miniature size they sell. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, yeah, sure. But you can buy those kind of containers from any Container Store or Michael's or
like
Hobby
a
Lobby.
tin?
A tin for lip gloss or whatever.
Oh.
And then
put
you
the
just
melty
melt it.
chapstick or whatever.
And then you squirt in your perfume, and then it's a solid perfume.
I did not understand what was going on, and now I do. And I
Approve?
oblige. Sure.
But I think that's a much lighter way to refresh than go,
of course.
if I soak my hair till it's wet in this perfume, it'll last all day.
Which clearly some people do.
It's amazing to me. How does it not burn their eyes?
I know. Has Dan Tipton ever worn cologne?
No, sadly. I try to get him to, and he doesn't like it.
Don't be sad about it.
Really? Yeah. I like a man that smells good.
I like a man who showers.
Well, that's true. I like a clean smelling man. Yes, that's true.
No,
but I know I have a friend that had a specially made perfume for him that was based off of a custom perfume made for like Humphrey Bogart or somebody like that. It is the most amazing smell ever, and people tell him constantly, "You smell incredible," and nobody can know what it is. That's
cool.
This is clearly a famous person because we could never.
Oh my God. Well, there is a place in France where you can go, and it's like a third or fourth generation perfumery, and you go for a week and you learn all of the different things and how to, the nose and how to recognize things and the top notes and the secondary notes.
Because every scent is different on every person's body.
Well, that's part of it too, right?
Yeah.
I will smell something sometimes on someone and go, oh my God, that smells so good. You put it on me, 5 minutes later, full on baby powder musk. Yeah. That's what it smells like on me.
Oh God, yuck. Love? Was that what it was called?
I loved Love's Baby Soft.
Stop it.
But
Enemies.
that smelled like it should on me.
Ugh, stinky? It smells stinky on you?
I used a lot of Love's Baby Soft. And it was pink in color. Oh my God.
Oh, I thought it stunk. Yeah.
Then I graduated to Benetton colors.
Oh, fancy. You were rich.
I asked for it for Hanukkah one year.
I remember wanting Liz Claiborne so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Stand it. Never had it.
Yep.
Never got it.
I didn't, but in my school, everybody was obsessed with the Liz Claiborne wallet with the little triangles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, I never had it. I definitely have put on things that I'm like, oh, this is amazing that you smell on someone else, and then there's total stink fest on you.
Totally.
It's really strange. I think if you do find, that's the thing, I think these people feel like, oh, I found my signature scent that smells good on me. Mm-hmm. I'm going to revel in it.
Yeah.
Well, you need to take it down a notch. Your revelry is too much for my eyeballs.
Yes. But this perfume, look, if we're ever rich one day or I win the lottery, we can go to France and make our own signature
Change
scent.
your vocabulary. Change it. When
we can.
Yeah.
But you go there and study with this master for a week and you create your own signature. I think it's amazing.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Because everybody is different.
Totally.
It's celebrating our individuality.
Yeah. I like citrus and grass.
Oh, that sounds clean and lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I find myself really drawn towards sweet smells and flower smells, but I do know that that's a lot of the smells that offend. A lot of people don't like those kinds of smells.
Rose vanilla.
Oh, I bet that's nice. Do your smell likes change the same way your taste buds change? Because I used to hate the smell of rose, and now I'm finding I enjoy it. Mm-hmm.
I bet that is the case.
Yeah, I think it reminds me maybe of my childhood, like maybe my great grandma or something. So there's a nostalgia to it.
Did she ever use like rose water or anything?
I think so.
Yeah. And that's something lovely to get.
She drank buttermilk. Yeah.
Wow.
And she, I think, had a rose. Yeah, just old school.
Yes.
So I think that's what it is for me.
Amazing.
Anyway, should we take a cleansing breath?
Let's do it.
We really went off the rails. A lot of rage from Dana today.
You really calmed me down with that talking about rose water, though.
I did?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, let's take a deep breath in. If you're by yourself, you guys, we're just going to get rid of all this bad energy that we just swirled around like a milkshake. We're going to take a deep breath in and get it out. If you're by yourself, you can yell. If you're not by yourself, but you're not embarrassed like me, clap above your head and yell. Who cares? Okay, here we go. Deep breath in. And Oh, that's nice.
It's great.
So good. I love it.
I love it too.
All right, we're ready for corners, yeah?
We are. I'm going to throw in a quick Be Thoughtful corner.
Oh, great.
We love when listeners, we told you guys, anything you send in to us, we appreciate, love, we read everything. And it's just nice sometimes when people have kind of like a follow-up. It's not even, it's not that anyone's shaming us or correcting us. This is just neat. And I appreciate something being brought.
And being mindful.
To light. Exactly.
Yes.
Be Mindful corner. This was in regards to our bar soap, liquid soap post. You know how we feel about soaps. We have different feelings, Dana and I.
I almost sent you a picture of my dad's bar soap on the side of his tub while I was at home.
I wish you did. But this was just somebody sending something about a type of non-toxic soap, and it's very eco-friendly. Have you tried washing your body with solid cleansing bars versus liquid body wash? Bars have a lower impact overall because we're not shipping or transporting water. That makes a lot of sense. Instead, just use the water from your shower to create lather. The cleansing bars that we make are specifically designed to be gentle on the body and not dry out your skin. Some people are scared of soap bars because they've experienced drying, but keep in mind if you're buying box at a big box store, it's almost guaranteed to be made using palm oil. That's another story entirely, but palm oil, we should be avoiding those products because that's part of what they're like destroying the rainforests over.
Oh no.
And also made in giant batches using machine processes that make it harder, drier, and less moisturizing. So it's just interesting. This is a company called No Tox Life that uses olive, coconut, and castor derived cleansers.
That sounds nice.
Plus aloe and coconut milk. And they're fragrance free. So you're not going to offend anyone with too much fragrance. But anyways, for whatever that's worth, again, it's like, oh yeah, instead of like glass, even plastic bottles and water and liquids, which bust and all that.
Just also lowering your footprint.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, I saw an article on Facebook yesterday and I did not read it. I do not know if it's true. So if you guys want to send in about it, you can. But I thought it was interesting. It caught my eye. It said that if you put a bar of Irish Spring soap in like your garage or your clothes or something, it keeps rats and varmints away.
What?
I don't know why.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm throwing it out there.
Oh my God.
Well, I like that. That's a let's be mindful corner.
Yes.
That's very nice. Thank you for sending that in, listener. Totally. Jessica, actually, I think you're up first on our corners.
Are you sure?
You have a Kids Are Amazing corner.
I feel like I've been so aggressive and shrieking. I was going to give people a break from that.
No, I've been the one clapping over my head.
No, I live for it. This is Kids Are Amazing.
Kids Are Amazing. Is that what I was supposed to do?
No, but I love it.
What was I supposed to do?
We always have our bad take on Whitney Houston.
Oh, I believe the children are future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Kids are amazing.
Okay, I love it. This is a story about a 6-year-old boy with autism who is the youngest ever Oxford University student.
Oh my God.
Doogie Howser,
right?
Junior, I love it.
Uh-huh.
Gaining admission to Oxford, the prestigious British university thought to be better than pretty much every American Ivy League school besides Harvard, is a major achievement at any age. However, the fact that Joshua Beckford attended the school at only 6 years old is absolutely mind-blowing. Joshua, from Tottenham in England, is a child prodigy. Now 13, when he was only 6, he was admitted to the specialist program created by Oxford for gifted children between the ages of 8 and 18.
Wow.
Despite the fact that he was 2 years too young, Joshua's father wrote to the university in the hopes of gaining admission for his son. Luckily, they accepted Joshua, making him the youngest ever student. Joshua Beckford has high-functioning autism and has demonstrated superior intelligence and an ability to learn from the time he was only a baby. At 10 months old, his father noticed that he could identify numbers and letters on a keyboard and commit them to memory.
Wow.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
I started telling Joshua what the letters on the keyboard were, and I realized that he was remembering and could understand. So if I told him to point to a letter, he could do it. Then we moved on to colors. Not only could he read phonetically by the age of 3, but he also taught himself fluent Japanese.
Taught himself?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
And knew how to touch type all before he was able to write.
Wow.
It's no surprise then that Knox was keen to get his son into a program like Oxford's, which could challenge and stimulate his young mind. Joshua took certificate courses in both history and philosophy and passed with distinction. He hopes to become a doctor. I told you.
Yeah.
When he gets older, and says he hopes to change the world with his work.
Aww.
This child prodigy is certainly well on his way to doing so. He's even hosted his own TED Talk already.
Oh my gosh.
Definitely going to be watching that.
No kidding.
So it's fair to say we can expect great things from Joshua. Look how cute.
What a doll baby. I mean, that's incredible. And also, can I just say,
What?
This father noticed and was his son's advocate.
Yes.
We have to advocate for our children.
Yes.
We are their only advocates. So be aware and speak up because, who knows if his father hadn't really pushed for this, who knows if he would have slipped by in the public school system because if you are not whatever, I'm going to get
cutter.
in. Yes, if you're not neurotypical, neuronormal, then sometimes you get lost in the fray.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate. And this is clearly a genius of our time that could have gotten lost. But because his father advocated for him, he didn't. And I think that's incredible.
Yep.
All of our corners today are a little bit, it wasn't even on purpose, but little bit related.
Totally.
So I'm going to go ahead and get into mine. Both of these stories actually are from tanksgoodnews.com. This one's written by Sarah Hallie Corey. And Jessica and I both follow Tank on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's a very positive, good news, motivational Instagram account if you're looking for something. I tell you all the time, and it's no joke.
Totally.
My feed is filled with stuff like that and animals. I follow more animals than I do people. But anyway, both of our stories are from there today. Mine is a Hero of the Week corner. Do we have a song for Hero of the Week? I don't think we do.
No.
Well, that's okay. Okay, moving on. I saw you take a breath. I'm just teasing.
There goes my hero. And my microphone.
What's happening? What are you doing? Our equipment did not like that
I think I
song.
just broke the internet. Sorry. Yeek.
I think we're okay now. Okay.
It's really yikes.
Did you want to try it again?
No,
but with some
no, no,
volume
no,
control,
no,
maybe?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, Dave Grohl.
Oh my God. Okay. A post office employee found 2 missing children over the course of 2 weeks. Post office workers are trained to deliver letters, packages, and other pieces of mail to families all around the country. One postal worker recently delivered a whole lot more when she discovered 2 missing children. Cheyenne Thomas has worked for the Vista Post Office in California for only 1 year, but already in that short time, she's been awarded twice for her heroism in helping reunite 2 children with their families. First, in April, Thomas found a 15-year-old girl with autism named Abby. She had been reported missing a few days before. Oh, God. A few days before, Thomas found her not far from a mail delivery stop. Thomas called 911 and helped Abby return to her family. A few days? How terrifying.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks later, Thomas spotted another child by herself. This time, it was a 3-year-old who did not speak English. Thomas waited with her for 15 minutes before calling 911. Thomas continued to wait with the child until her mother arrived. She was pinned by the National Association of Letter Carriers and was presented a plaque. "I love my job at the post office," Thomas said. "If a child was in need, I would step in to help again." Thomas has also been trained to work with children with special needs, which helped her to know what to do in these unique situations. "I had training in behavioral health and working with children on the spectrum," said Thomas. "It helped me to know what to do in this situation." Thomas provides a perfect example of a public worker going above and beyond their duties by looking out for the people in their community. And that is so true. I love this story so much. And if you don't mind, I'm going to segue into another plug because I think it's relevant. And I know I have spoken about this before, but I think it deserves another shout out.
Always.
Special Books by Special Kids, SBSK. You can find them on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. There's a specific video I really want to tout to you guys. It is called the SBSK Guide to Inclusion and Mindful Teaching, a must-see for parents and educators. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, it's like 20-some minutes long, but I'm telling you, it is worth every single second. If you've got a lunch break and you could just play it in your ears, you don't even have to watch, although he does show a video example that is mind-blowing. And it is all about... It's all about being mindful and inclusive in not trying to avoid treating people under this veil of neurotypical need. You know, we're all very different. And just like this little boy you did your story about, I'm sure socially he has issues, but he's a genius.
Yep.
We cannot, just because he doesn't think like we do doesn't mean he's not a person, you know? So he shows this video, and it is specifically made for parents and teachers. But I'm telling you, if you're not a teacher and you're not a parent, there are things in here that you can use on people who are neurotypical, that it's just kind. And it just helps people be stronger human beings and identify with others around them and feel accepted and loved, which I think we need more of in the world right now. So anyway, if you don't mind, Jessica, I would love to put a link to that video in our show.
No, it's
you guys
great.
know how much I love this guy anyway.
He's amazing.
He's like literally an angel on earth. But the things that he speaks about in this video, I think are so important for everyone, literally everyone. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you have kids. I don't care if you're a teacher. Just as being a good human being.
He's helping normalize people in general that have a slew of different, I hate even using the word disability, but differences, right?
Yes.
And it's showing you, and we were talking about this for a while this morning, just because someone is nonverbal or physically is limited and maybe can't get out speech for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that they do not understand love. It doesn't mean that they don't understand connection. So talking to someone, making eye contact, a voice, a sound, whatever it is.
And there's a video example of that I was telling Jessica. You guys have to see this. It is mind-blowing. This little boy's completely nonverbal. The doctors told the family he couldn't think. He was basically like a vegetable. This guy comes to visit him and speaks to him just like he would you or me. And this boy's life turned around in that moment. They saw he understood connection. And then there's a follow-up video he shows that's 3 years later. And the little boy's fully verbal using one of those machines where your eyes click to words. Fully having conversations with them. He was in there. He was in there, and nobody gave him a chance to know that. And so anyway, I think that the skills he teaches are useful for people who are different, but also for people who are normal, just like you and me. He talks about positive reinforcement and how to speak to someone. And I was even saying to you, I didn't know for a long time how to, if someone was in a wheelchair or whatever, I didn't want them to think like I felt bad for them or pitied them. And so sometimes I would just ignore them. And I've learned through him and his videos, but through the voices of those who are living with this day to day. It's okay to say hi. It's okay to connect. They want to connect, and it's important. There's a girl that was profiled this week who's high functioning autistic. She's an artist, and he asks them questions, and he said, how would you describe yourself? And she said, weird. And he said, do you feel weird? And she said, yeah, I'm not normal. I know this, but I guess I've just been called weird for so long. I don't know how else to describe myself. And I was like, that's a problem. That's a problem. So anyway, I'm getting all serious and I might cry, so I should stop. But anyway, I just think that it's such an important thing to think about in our world for all of us, not just people who have special needs. It's literally everyone. So anyway, there's my soapbox for the week.
I love it. And yes, if you want to be uplifted, check out those videos with him. They're
we'll put
fantastic.
A link in our show notes. It's amazing.
Absolutely fantastic.
All right, are we ready?
Your corner.
Oh, my corner?
I'm so sorry. Wait.
No, we already did my... I have you down for raves first.
My rave. This is a story that caught my eye this week that I really love regarding out-of-work Appalachian coal miners being retrained as beekeepers.
Incredible!
So we've talked about stuff like this before, like
and how important the bees are to our earth.
The importance of bees, the importance of people having viable skills, also what happens. We've never talked about if someone loses their job, but
like self-value.
Yes. Or people that are down on their luck, or maybe were in prison or coming out of a rehab program or whatever. They're humans and reacquainting them with the outside world and getting jobs. So these people are not prisoners or anything like that.
No,
I'm just saying someone is finally doing something positive to help people who are out of work from a very toxic field, as we well know. So this is an organization that offers free beekeeping classes, bees, and equipment to displaced coal miners, improving the local economy and protecting threatened bee populations.
I love it.
The declining coal industry has left nearly 100,000 former miners unemployed in West Virginia.
Oh my God.
That's staggering.
Staggering. In such a small place where the job opportunities are very small.
Well, and that's all they know. And a lot of people
No other skills.
Their fathers or grandfathers
It's
also very well
multi-generational.
maybe have done it, right?
Yeah.
A new nonprofit called the Appalachian Bee Collective hopes to bring a new, more eco-friendly industry to the region, beekeeping. The charity was founded with funds from a $7.5 million settlement from a lawsuit against coal mining companies for violating the Clean Water Act.
Oh.
So I also love that.
Yes.
The money won from the lawsuit is going to something that will actually help give these people an
Help
income.
the community.
And help, yes, their
The
community and the world in general.
Mm-hmm.
The money has been used to fund environmental restoration projects and to develop sustainable economic opportunities in the once thriving region that now has the highest unemployment rate in the country.
Wow.
So far, the collective has trained 35 former coal miners as beekeepers and will train 50 more in the next few weeks.
50.
Graduates of the free Introduction to Beekeeping classes receive free or reduced cost bees and equipment and have access to ongoing training and mentorship. They can opt to maintain between 2 and 20 hives.
Wow.
They harvested their first honey this spring, and the nonprofit will collect, bottle, and sell the honey, paying the market rate, currently $7 a pound. With the potential to earn over $700 per hive, 20 hives could earn $15,000 per season.
Wow.
The organization also offers training in making candles, lip balm, and other wax products for additional income opportunities.
Amazing.
So I love that too,
Yeah.
because those are byproducts of the bees, and it's amazing.
And it's cruelty free, all of it.
Yes. So
Organic.
it goes on and on and on and talks about wild colonies of bees dwindling and all that. So we will definitely link to the actual Appalachian Beekeeping Collective site, and it's very interesting. And you can read up all about that program and again, see if there's something in your area. I remember
There is an art area if you live in California, there is a program that they hold classes once a month to teach you how to be a beekeeper.
It's really cool.
You have to buy your own supplies and bees and stuff. It can get very pricey, but they do give free classes and they offer up. You can ask them questions. Like, they're constantly available. It's really sweet.
I love it. One of my old customers was a producer at Fox.
Was it Dan Tipton?
No. He was a doll. Like, I lit up. He would come in a couple of times a year to buy like holiday gifts or like gifts for all the women in his office. He was an absolute doll. And I remember being like, hey, how are you? And he goes, I'm good. He goes, I've actually taken up beekeeping. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're kidding. And he lived in the city, right? But like, he had a house with a backyard, and I was fascinated by it. And I love that. He goes,
I was going to do it. And then I was like, you have a kid. It might not be the best. Because at the time when I was thinking about it, he was like 3. So it probably wouldn't have been the greatest. But also in my neighborhood, we've got some very aggressive bees. We have some Africanized bees for sure. Because they will chase me down.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't kill them because we need bees, but I don't like those aggressive ones.
Right.
Oof. Remember in the,
scary.
was it the late 80s that we were all terrified of killer bees?
Oh, yeah.
Hugely terrified.
Absolutely.
And now I'm like, get out of here before I have to kill you, Africanized bee. Oh, life.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm going to move on to my rave if you don't care.
Do it.
We've got some good ones this week. I
We
love
really
it.
do.
I love it. This one is former NFL star DeAngelo Williams has paid for over 500 mammograms in honor of his late mother.
Love him.
Ugh. The fight against breast cancer is an ongoing one, but one football player has been inspired by his late mother to help other people continue the fight. For the people he's helped, preventative care is key. Former Former Pittsburgh Steelers running back DeAngelo Williams has paid for more than 500 mammograms. He's a staunch supporter of breast cancer awareness, especially because he has a personal connection to the disease. In 2014, Williams's mother, Sandra Hill, died from breast cancer at just 53 years old. 4 of Williams's aunts, oh my God, 4 of Williams's aunts also died from breast cancer, all before the age of 50. That's tragic. In honor of his family, he started covering the cost of mammogram screenings in 2015 through his nonprofit organization, the DeAngelo Williams Foundation. Originally, Williams paid for 53 mammograms because his mom was 53 when she died. He called the campaign 53 Strong for Sandra and focused on holding mammogram screening events for underinsured women in Charlotte, North Carolina. Since beginning the campaign 4 years ago, it's grown to provide mammograms to over 500 women. Awesome. To be able to help all these women is amazing. This can be life-changing for these women, Williams said in a statement to Today. We are enabling them to get this care that no one should ever be denied or not have access to. Truth.
Yep.
Williams's wife, Rosalind Williams, is the executive director of the DeAngelo Williams Foundation and is working to help the foundation reach its goal of providing free mammograms in all 50 states in the United States. DeAngelo wants to ensure that no woman or man fights breast cancer alone. Rosalind told Today via email. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Williams was key in pushing for the NFL to allow players to wear pink in October in 2009 in honor of breast cancer awareness. He's continuing his work to fight the disease with his foundation. Amazing.
Love it.
Love it. If you have boobies, get your mammogram. I'm telling you, people always put the fear of God in me about it, how painful it was. And I thought, oh my God, mine
wasn't that bad.
So ginormous, it's going to hurt. It doesn't hurt.
That's how I felt too.
It doesn't hurt. It really, really doesn't. And now, maybe if you're smaller, it does because they smush. I don't know. But if that's the case, bring a girlfriend. Hold their hand. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's worth it. I'm telling you. I know too many women who have been touched by this disease, and I've lost a lot of women. We all have. And
early detection.
Exactly.
This is something that if is caught early, does have a good success rate.
Absolutely. But it's a matter of us being aware.
Yeah.
Which brings me, why am I sliding into a million different things?
It's great. It's kismet.
I am a part of a benefit this weekend called A Cause for Entertainment. It's their 5th anniversary, and it is this episode we've been talking is coming out literally today, I guess, tomorrow, whatever. So this is up to date. It's Saturday, October 19th, 2019 at 6 p.m. at Candela La Brea. You can get your tickets. It's a big, fancy, kind of formal event, a gala, and it is for survivors and breast cancer warriors, and it's raising money for breast cancer awareness. They have merchandise. So their mission is to support and empower individuals and communities affected by breast cancer. A Cause for Entertainment's goal is to raise awareness and funds to support research, education, and individuals and families who are currently facing a breast cancer diagnosis. The founder, during 2008, her life was touched by cancer. My grandmother, who is my best friend, was diagnosed with both breast and colon cancer. It breaks my heart that this is just one of many stories I can tell, but it motivated me to take action. So she started A Cause for Entertainment. Jessica Sherman is her name. I'm going to be at the event this week. We're going to probably post some, I did some little videos.
They're hilarious.
About my boobies for this event, and they will be auctioning off the picture I drew of my boobies.
Yes.
Which is entertaining, I think. Not an artist. Let's get that clear real fast. But anyway,
it's amazing.
They have merch. They have these beautiful t-shirts. Somebody made a design for them. That's great. Really, really artistic and lovely. Check that out. acauseforentertainment.com. Everybody be touching your boobies or asking somebody else to, because we got to keep them safe.
That's right.
Jessica.
Dana.
I think that's our show.
I think it is. But don't forget about our live show this Friday. Here's a weekly point to ponder. How are you going to get to our show on Friday? Please, if you can, if you're nearby, come out. It's going to be a blast. So fun.
We will be able to hang out with you personally. We're also going to be making some more videos for you guys today. Please keep rating, reviewing, subscribing. Yes. We're growing. It's very slow because we're doing it organically and we're not famous. So
one of us is.
No. We need you guys. We need you guys. Word of mouth and telling your friends and writing reviews. That gets us attention and we appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
We love you. Jessica, it was so fun to be back with you.
I know. Yay. And we have another one in just a few days.
I know it.
Can't wait.
All right. I guess that's it. We'll be back next week.
Bye.
Stop it.